Good morning, TFR.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To the show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the Ironworx with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
It is Tuesday, my dudes.
Yeah, it is Tuesday, my dudes. If only barely. It is Tuesday. Welcome to the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. We have got it's a show for you this morning. It's just a pair of us this morning. We are missing one Mr. Zachary Zabala, who may be sleeping. Nope, wait. I see him. He has joined us. He just snuck in a few minutes late. How you doing, gents?
I'm good. Press the button.
Some bitch. Button pushed.
Button pushed. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm here. I'm good. I know what Zack was doing. I also was up way too late, way later than I should be, but I guess a minute early is better than a minute late.
Truth.
But I did arrive. I am here. I'm trying to get everything signed up. That's still saying starting soon, though. Hang on.
If you talk about Rockfin, it does take a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I got to do tricks there. Hang on.
There's a bit of a delay, too.
Yeah, there it goes. Hello, Rockman. And everyone else. I will get to that in a moment. As we're only two, it might not be as much quickness as I used to. Oh, my God. I'm too sleepy. And I need more coffee. So, I mean...
Sorry. No, there he is.
Hi. How you going? I mean, doing? Oh, I'm reading the chat.
Yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Done it.
That'll do it. Well, as I got settled in for my late evening and debated on getting involved in a long, drawn-out squad situation that might last hours, or just do a little quick something and not calm down, but, settle in for the night, it turned into a whole different thing. So I just, had things going on, got sidetracked, and then it got late. Suddenly I was like, oh man, it's Monday. It's not a night for all this. So I had to get home and get to bed. I think what else? Really nothing overly exciting. I discovered a new wah pedal in my guitar excursions this weekend. I did get to go play a bit this weekend, as I planned to go, play around with a few guitars that would be new and way out of my reach, but at least news on the market, brand new, like just got here kind of thing. So went and did that at a couple stores. Found a new guitar store. Shout out to Rockin' Guitars there in Lafayette. Jason, what's up, brother? Awesome place. If you're even close to over there, go see them. It's where I discovered The Weeping Demon by Ibanez. Or I guess Ibanez if you're phonetically inclined. Anyway. Yeah, it was a a surprising little unit that I didn't know existed. I know there's quite a few WAVs, I'm sure, out in the world that I don't know exist, but when you're a guitarist and appreciate them and look for them quite often, you kind of think you have your hand on, or your mind wrapped around what they are, but definitely found one I didn't know. So whether I have it added to my collection soon or not will just all be down to my gear acquisition syndrome, I suppose, and how bad it flies. But yeah, seems like something else is going on this weekend. I can't think what it was. Played a lot of guitars. That's about it. Checked out a new map Zack had been working on for days and days and days. It's getting there, for sure.
It is. We're having fun.
I keep hearing a weird noise that's probably my wireless connector letting me know it's going to go out soon, but it doesn't sound the same as it normally does. So that may not be what I'm hearing. Who knows anymore?
Could be anything.
It seems like my computer beeps and bangs and bongs all morning and day and night. What is up, Allie, in the chat? I haven't seen you in a minute, lady. Definitely good to see you there. Hadn't had you in a minute. It's good to see all you fine people. You know what we haven't done in a minute? We haven't done a good roll call. And of course, I wouldn't want to see everybody. I would just want to see the top people when I'm looking at chat. So let me make sure I fix that.
Well, if you just want to see only the top comments, make sure you hit the live chat button. Good old YouTube.
Your weekend, Josh?
Quiet. Very quiet. Bunnies are getting closer to bonded, seems like.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, pros and cons. Bonded bunnies are a whole different sort of creature. Like, you don't get to take one bunny to the vet. Bonded pair, you got to take them both.
Gotcha.
And because those bonds are so strong that if there's a huge age difference and the older one dies, well, now it's a good chance that younger one won't last very long. And if so, it's going to be in a pretty miserable shape. Bunny bonds are crazy things. But it looks like they're getting close.
Are they like that in the wild?
Yes. I mean, domestic bunnies aren't like that in the wild because there's no such thing as a domestic bunny in the wild except for one that's almost dead. Most bunny rescues have somebody that'll go out and pick up domestic bunnies because they're pretty obvious. They don't last very long in the wild.
No, you can just go right up to them and pick them up.
There's actually not very many bunnies. There's a lot of bunny owners that have had bunnies for years that their bunnies won't allow them to pick them up.
No, I'm talking about domesticated bunnies. There was 50 of them. My buddy's neighbor was raising them for food or something. I don't know what he was using them for. But they were all over my buddy's yard. You could just walk right up and pick these things up. It was insane. They were everywhere in his yard. And because he kept getting mad, he's like, dude, you need to keep them out of here. I got a garden going, blah, blah, blah. He's like, well, just kill them if you see them in your yard. No. You need to keep your animals in your area.
Yeah, that seems to be a thing, too. You try to talk to somebody about bunnies, and usually it just goes right to killing them or using them as food. Even if they think they're just being funny and cute.
Interesting fact, you can't live off of rabbit meat. Something about there's not enough protein in it. And it'll, I'm not sure what it exactly, I'm still half asleep. I need to wake up. But there's something about the bunny meat that's different than a lot of other meat. And you can't solely live off of, bunny meat, rabbit meat.
So, And it could be with their digestive systems. It's really interesting. Shout out Ross Lagomorphs, our boss. Their poop is actually pretty interesting because they've got two different kinds. So because of lagomorphs, they're pretty active, sort of evening and, well, dawn and dusk, but they're for the most part sort of nocturnal, so they're most active overnight. So during the day, when they're holed up, hiding away from the hawks and the foxes and everybody else that's going to try to eat bunnies, they're down in their burrow or they're in their pile of sticks. When they poop, they've got the two different kinds of poops. One's regular fecal matter. Then they have another kind called cecos. So the fecal matter looks more like Cocoa Puffs. Just little tiny white because, so much straw in their diet. It's mostly fiber, so it's really kind of non-existent.
Pellet.
Yeah.
Rabbit pellets.
Little rabbit pellets, that's right. But their cecos look more like kind of like raspberries. Tiny little raspberries. And that's got like all the nutrients. So that when they're holed up during the day, they don't have to go out to forage and to eat. They actually eat that cecos. So it allows them to stay holed up and protected during the day. Then at night they can go out. But yeah, a lot of times you'll see
fat. Rabbits don't have enough fat for us to live off of them.
That would make sense.
People are still starved, even while eating rabbit. Don't know if I believe that, but yeah.
It does seem a bit hard to believe.
The meat is just too lean. There's not enough fat because the human body needs fat for your brain and all that kind of stuff. And the rabbits don't have enough of it. Never tried it. I don't know. Bunnies are cute though. Yeah, wild rabbits though, those things are so fast. I mean, I'm sure domesticated bunnies are fast too, but man, those they outrun dogs like they're nothing. Those jackrabbits.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so what is the mate? Aren't domesticated bunnies usually bigger than a jackrabbit?
Not always. They've got breeds of rabbits that are giant. Well, yeah. Look up Flemish giant bunnies. And you'd be like, no.
Yeah, those are pretty nuts.
That's photoshopped. That's not real.
Well, I guess you can have that and I'll move out because it'll be in the bed with you. I won't be able to fit.
Yeah, they get a little ridiculous. They do get almost like scary sized.
Night of the lemur. Night of the lemurs. I can't remember.
Night of the lagomorphs?
There could be those. No, it's an old 70s movie with, if I'm not mistaken, Bones was in it. I'm pretty sure. Oh my God, what's his name? DeForest Kelly? No. Yeah. Good Lord, I can't remember anybody. It's too early. Anyway, yeah. Night of the Lemurs. I'm pretty sure. We'll see. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Still waking up.
And then they just sort of, vary in size and color. And really, it's all about breeding. Like, domestic bunnies can't breed with jackrabbits, so. But it's only been in the last 20 years that they've really decided and figured out how to properly care for rabbits. They used to think that rabbits only lived to be, 4 or 5 years old. But you can actually.
Dude, you've taught us more about rabbits than I knew there were, than I knew there was to know.
I know.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dixie, who's taught me all about rabbits. So we still only have the 2 bunnies. I saw Liz in chat asking if I had gotten another one earlier. Still just the 2. Benny, and Harris. There was a third one that I had fallen in love with when I took a little trip up to the bunny house, which is basically why I don't go with Dixie when she volunteers, because I'll start seeing them and when I start bringing them home, and that just doesn't work out well. And when I know I can't bring them home, and then I get heartbroken, and then someone else adopts them, and then I get heartbroken, and then it's just like, you know what? Maybe I'll just not go there and avoid all this. But yeah, there was another one, a little brown one, a little chocolate bunny. And it wasn't very little; it was a decent sized, but not big. But she was recently adopted out just this past weekend, I think.
Huh. Yeah, you don't need to get started. It would be the night of the Lepus. Lepus, by the way, the correct name of the movie. Stuart Whitman, Janet Leigh, Rory Calhoun, no less, and DeForest Kelly. Great 70s B movie. Probably has been on Mystery Science Theater. I can't imagine it has not. And how was your weekend, Zachary? Other than game building?
Not bad. Yeah, I'm learning about computer programming a little bit. Watching Jaron do his magic. It's amazing, like in real time. And now he's just waiting on... the map's pretty much done. At least my part of it. But in the programming part, there's something going on wrong on Epic's end. And yeah, he's a little frustrated with him. So I'm just trying to keep him calm about it. He's used to it, though. I'm trying to be really good about it. Because, for Jaron, it's like me when I was drawing when I was younger. By the time I hit 14, people had asked me to draw things for them, family members, friends, whoever. By the time I was 14, when they started asking me then, oh, Zach, you have to draw this for so-and-so, for so-and-so's whatever, birthday cake. Finally, I was just like, no, I'm not doing it. And I pretty much just quit drawing. I used to love to draw. I used to draw everything all the time. And yeah, one day I was just like, no, I'm not doing that. That was like my first put my foot down with my family and stuff. Just like, nope, I'm not doing it. And I don't want Jaron to be like that about the computer stuff with me. I don't want to be a nuisance and because for him it's like teaching, addition in very low numbers. This stuff I'm asking him about. And I don't want him to get annoyed with that. But he said, when we're working on stuff like the game and stuff like that, he's like, no, don't. Because this doesn't bother me. I enjoy doing this kind of stuff, the programming part. He doesn't like being an IT guy. People having trouble getting into this or that or doing this or that. That's where he's like, but he doesn't get it. It's so easy for him, and he knows. We could sit there for hours, like 2 hours, trying to do something. And Jaron will come in. We won't try not to bother him. So if he's sleeping, we'll let him get up. And as soon as we see him, hey, Jaron, you take a look, he'll come over. Oh, my gosh. It hits like 10 keys in like 1.2 seconds. Goes through like 3 pages, and it's fixed. It's amazing to watch his brain. When you tell him what's wrong, he'll be like, oh, hold on. And he'll take a look real quick. Okay. And it's all done. Where Cammie and I are sitting there trying to figure this out for over an hour. Like, how do you do this with a computer? How do you make just this happen? Simple stuff that, most common people don't know how to just do. You have to go find it and look it up and this and that. And Yeah, he just knows all that stuff. So I'm being good though. I'm trying my best not to bug him too much about. But yeah, it's exciting with these games and stuff. It's fun. And oh yeah, there will definitely be an Iron Realm Media or an Ironworx map or match. You're gonna see Ironworx logos all over everything here in a video game pretty soon.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah, that's why you had to get the authentication and everything, because we can bring things from the real world and put them into the game. I mean, you can bring videos and put them onto the TV sets and stuff like that. It's crazy. But you could also bring in, you know, like pornography or just horrible things that children shouldn't be seeing. You know, all that kind of stuff. So you have to be 18 years or older to even work on these types of editing. The editing games this way, it's not like the regular Fortnite. It's a special editing program that's made for Fortnite. Same company, the Unreal Engine, that's by Epic. They made that engine for video games. And they made an Unreal Editor engine, or the Unreal Engine editor is now, there's like one that's hooked up to Fortnite, so you can do the editing. It's like instead of having, you know, the paint that most computer programs come with. I think it comes with Windows, the Paint program. Pretty
like
basic.
MS Paint.
Yeah, MS Paint. Well, it's like comparing MS Paint to Adobe Premiere Pro, you know? That's the difference from the regular Fortnite game and what we could do to what we can do to it now in building our own stuff. Yeah, I mean, Jaren's putting stuff in the game that's never been seen in the game yet. Like physics of the game. He can go in and change the code so things happen that have never happened in the game yet. But yeah, it's really neat, especially having, you know, a little computer genius on your team that, oh, it'd be so cool if we did this and then, you know, the bus just blows up. Oh, I can do that. Hold on. What? Yeah, hold on. Give me a sec. And it's more like, you know, 45 minutes to an hour. Yeah, because you have to test it. Me and him are in the editing thing, and, you know, we come up with an idea. He goes and writes some code, puts it in there, and we go and test it out, and it didn't work this time, or something happened, and it just wasn't right. It took like 3 or 4, you know. He'd go in there and write a line of code, and then write another line of code. It's like a puzzle, how it all works. And all the connectors and everything. I'm watching him do this, and I'm just blown away. But it's a puzzle. That's all this programming stuff. A lot of it's just a puzzle and figuring out how to do it. And yeah, he's very good at it.
He definitely has the mind for it.
Yeah.
Well, Josh, I hate to bring this up, but I'm thinking during the break, it's probably a good idea if you change the date on the screen, because I see everybody mentioning it on various chats across the interwebs here.
That's pretty funny. You know, I knew there was something I was forgetting to do. I loaded up the Rockfin chat into OBS, and I was moving on to something else. I'm like, wait, wasn't there something else I need to do? I don't know. I don't think so. But nope, that was it. Probably a couple other things too, yeah. Because it's not Friday, my dudes.
But we had
a Friday.
A guest as if it was like the Friday of all Fridays.
I like that.
I would like
having
to
guests.
welcome Alex Michael to the show. Alex,
dude,
how you doing,
I like
brother?
that dude.
Hey, what's going on? Good morning to you. How's it going?
Good afternoon, evening.
How have you been sitting there for a while, man? I've been sitting here talking with my eyes closed. Even I wasn't even looking at anything.
Oh, don't worry, mate. I just opened up Skype, saw you were on. I thought, well, I'll try you again and see if
Well, you did it right this time. The only catch is we're about to hit a Commercial? Yeah,
Probably
here
not,
in a second.
because we had no intro music. I'm guessing there will be no commercial break as well.
Well, here's what I found out. We're going out over TuneIn or whatever it is, and over iHeart, and over there they are playing the breaks. So, regardless of what we're hearing here, that is happening. I was just playing catch up in the TFR chat. It's kind of sad that that's where I have to find all that out, but that's where I find all that out. If anybody wants to catch up on the places you can actually hear the show, go to the Truth Frequency Radio chat. Currently, Lucky's got it all lined out. All other places. But anyway, I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess, whether we hear it or not. But somebody's playing something somewhere.
Alex, man, how's it going?
All right, mate. Yeah, excited, busy, all of that. You know, it's tough work being a middle-aged rock star. You know. How about you?
Yeah, not bad, man. I saw that interview with Jim Brewer. Well, at least the the cut-up premiere a little bit.
Yeah, that was cool, man. I really resonated with him. You know, it's like talking to an old friend. I felt like I knew him. It's like, I don't know. I just hit it off with him. We're kind of similar in a way because, you know, we're both pretty animated in, you know, well, he's just animated in real life. I'm not so animated in real life, but he's just like this just rubber face kind of Jim Carrey comedian. It's just so animated. But I resonate with what he's doing. He resonates with what I'm doing. I've got on with him. He's not quite ready to talk about flat Earth yet, although I have it on good authority that he is, aware of the globe nonsense. I understand that, you know, when I first came to that, realization, I was like, I'm not telling anyone. Everyone's going to think I'm crazy. And then a year later, of course, I'm flat Earth man all over the internet. So you get comfortable with it. It just becomes part of your reality, doesn't it? I mean, so he'll come out with it and start talking about flat Earth. I'm sure. You know, if I was a betting man, I would say he's going to be the next quote unquote celebrity to start talking about flat Earth.
Awesome. Yeah, you could tell. I mean, I had a feeling when he came out and started doing the COVID skits and all that kind of stuff. I was like, wow, this guy's pretty awake compared to all the other comedians out there right now. You know, it seemed like everybody was going along with it, and he was almost like the breaking point. And then people started, like, he was the one who tested the waters with all this stuff. You know, like the way, because he really didn't get as much backlash, it seems, as people who tried to do it before he did. He like waited the perfect amount of time for the joke to be funny, you know? You know, they say that, you can't talk about that yet. It's only been so long. That's not funny yet. It
Too
seemed
soon.
like Jim, too soon. Well, Jim did it perfect. Because he got a little bit of backlash, but a lot of people were fed up with all the stuff just like we all were. And it's like he's a normal person. He's not one of these Hollywood weirdos. He's got his finger on the actual pulse of America, not Hollywood.
Yeah, he's got some balls as well, you know, to stand in front of a room full of people. I mean, some of them have to be vaxxed in that room, right? So he's doing stand up to what, 200-300 people. That thing he did, somebody had to say it was the name of his stand up. And I don't know how big the auditorium was there, but it seemed like a few hundred people there. So there has to be a bunch of vaxxed people in it. And he's up there on stage going, you was all cocky, you lot, you vaccinated lot. And he's ripping the shit out of them. So, and everyone's falling about laughing. So they all know, really. I mean, he's got some balls to be coming out and saying that. And it was a very, very edgy comedy. Like I say, it was the perfect timing. So we'll see where he goes with other stuff, you know, because it's only a matter of time, I think. But before he starts bringing up NASA and incorporating, you know, NASA sketches into his stand-up, I'm sure of it. But you know, we'll see where this year goes. I don't know. I believe he means what he says when he's talking about getting me over to the States and doing a show and all that. I don't think that's all bullshit, but I've just got to sit back and wait to see what happens. I mean, if he's talking about doing a whole tour and all of that, I mean, I'm up for it. It's way out of my comfort zone, but I'll do it. But that sort of thing takes a lot of time to organise. And so I don't know if it'll be this year. I don't know if it'll be next year, but I've certainly got to wait until they lift that vax mandate, because that's a bit of a hurdle.
He seemed to imply that's coming soon, and he also he seemed to think it would be snap of the fingers, man. He's got the musicians ready for you. He's got it all. It was great hearing him being so pumped up for you, man. I was eating it up.
Yeah, I mean, initially I was like a bit apprehensive because it is out of my comfort zone, and of course the back mandate as well. Like, I like doing my quote unquote activism from the comfort of my little studio. I don't like traveling. I hate traveling anywhere. I hate airports. I hate it. Also, when he's asking me, I'm like, it must have come across like I seemed I was a bit negative. I was like, what about the band? I need this, I need that. Oh, what about the vaccine? And but after the interview, I was like, fuck, I've got to do it. I've got to do it, because I'll be if I don't do it, I'm going to be thinking, what if? And so I've got to sort of push myself a little bit and get on a plane and go over there and, start rehearsing with the band. That'd be awesome to have my own session musicians. That'd be incredible. It'd be like a dream come true. So, now I'm way more pumped up about it than I was in the interview, because he threw it at me. And I was like, you mean I've got to get on a plane and shit? Oh, I don't really want to do that. So, it could be very interesting. So I can't wait if it happens.
Can't you guys just all come to my studio? We can just do it there.
Yeah, my tiny little studio. That'd be great.
But yeah, he seemed to keep going with it though. His skits on the Chinese balloon, I thought were just genius. He came up with those so quick. I watch a lot of his stuff.
He's a natural comic. He's not. When I do like a funny music video, I have to think for days. Like, how is this going to be funny, or at least humorous, or raise an eyebrow? And I'm not a natural comic, but he just opens his mouth and he's funny. He doesn't even have a script when he goes on stage. He just has bullet points. He just has little bullet points. Right, I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about that and that. And he will just go off on it. And he will just that's a true natural comic where you can just naturally be funny. You don't even have to think about it. So yeah, I wish I was more like that.
And the facial expressions that guy does.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious. Oh my God.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. I only came across him a couple of years ago when he was doing sort of talking to his phone and sort of, talking about the whole nonsense of the Carl Rittenhouse trial. And he was talking about that. And that was the first viral video I saw of him. I thought, who's this guy? He's really animated. He must. And then I found out he's a comedian, started watching some of his stuff. I was like, oh, okay, this is great.
Right.
We need more of these.
I think it was Josh.
Did you ever see the big?
That he, Jim himself, kind of, stepped away from that big path of being the stoner comedian that he could have pursued and blown up with after that movie. Damn it! The title. That's why I took a minute to say this, because the title is gone. What's the movie, guys? Come on. Half-Baked. Lord, my brain is not waking up. But yeah, the fact that he didn't take that easy route and the big money and the fame that would have come there with it says a lot to, why he does speak the things he speaks in his comedy. Because most times comedians have a whole lot to say. That's what they're, it's not just mommy and daddy treated me bad. Now I got to go get some love on the stage. Sometimes there's a lot they need to get out. And that just seems to be the best way. Kind of like what you've done, where it's like, silly jokes. For those people who don't get it, and for those people who do, holy shit, this guy's so aware what's going on here. So yeah, dude, it's like I said, I could feel the kinship. I could feel your reluctance for the tour I did too. That was so hilarious. And every time he'd hammer it home, you'd be like, yeah, but I need a band that would know my tunes. And he was like, yeah, got that for you, man. Got that. And you were like, oh, well, it was great. Yeah, man, I'm pumped up. I'm really excited to see him that excited about it. I see in the chat, I've lost it. I tried to go back and see who and where, but apparently he's gone on some other things recently or joined up to another site with some other truthy guys. I'm trying to find it, but the chat will not act right this morning.
So, not necessarily truther guys. Steven Crowder I guess, started his own website. He was on one of those semi-mainstreams, quasi-mainstream, right-wing, like online news publications. Couldn't tell you which one. Don't particularly care. Who's the little guy? Little dark-haired guy, kind of a pointy face. Shit, I don't know. It'll come to me.
Ben Shapiro.
What'd you say that? Ben Shapiro. Yeah, I think that's right.
I said Hervé Villechaize, but I'm so old nobody even knows who the fuck that is. It's way too early here. Go.
I love that you're cracking yourself up. But yeah, I guess he was doing his stuff with Ben Shapiro, and then there was contract issues and renegotiation issues, and I guess there was a falling out, and Steven decided that he was just going to go do his own thing. And for the right-wingers, Steven Crowder is definitely interesting. If you've ever seen the meme of the guy sitting outside behind a table that changed my mind, I think something provocative, insert provocative thought here, and then underneath it says, change my mind. Well, that was Steven Crowder that did that.
The first one I saw, he's been big. Sorry, Josh, for interrupting.
No, go ahead.
It's always like, there are only two genders. Change my mind. The Second Amendment is, fundamentally needed in this country. Change my mind. Those are like the ones I've seen him do. Like, that grabbed my attention. I was like, oh, wow. That was it. Sorry, Josh.
No, you're good. I was just trying to give some context as to who the hell Steven Crowder was, because I guess he is technically a comedian.
So what's the point? So Jim Brewer is going to be a part of the Steven Crowder crowd, is he?
That was the impression I got.
Yeah.
Okay, I finally saw it. Apparently he's joined Mug. Oh, man. Every time I start to read it.
Well, that is, I think, Steven Crowder's new website. Once he peeled away from Ben Shapiro and started his own thing, I think that's the name of his new thing. Sort of continuation of his old thing.
So that's one of my concerns, really, is that Jim Brewer gets, sidetracked. There might be, something else that Jim has to do. And if he's going to be teaming up with Jim Crowder and doing that sort of thing and regular shows, then, then his idea of doing a tour and me being a part of it might become like an afterthought, not an afterthought, but more in the background and that. So, he's going to be a very popular guy for look how quickly Alex Stein was snapped up or, so once people know that Jim's conscious, then he's going to be, hot property, I think.
Yeah, there's a good chance.
Nemo in chat is
I don't know, because, he's really, he even said it. He's one of those guys that wanted to be into music. His music parodies are genius that he's done, and like the characters that he did that were like the metal dudes or whatever on Saturday Night Live back in the day. I think he even called one of his specials something like hard metal or hardcore. I don't remember. It's been too long, but he's definitely one of those guys that probably would have been a musician if he had taken just a step in a different direction. He mentioned it, that, you're doing the things he wants to do, the saying shit within a realm that lets you do it without it being that dude's talking shit. It's you can be, that dude's a comedian. He's a joker. He's not making serious stuff. I just know from the way he said it in that interview with you, I'm pretty sure this is going to be in his mind for a time. I don't think this is just a being nice to you while he was there thing. It really seemed like you've touched something deep in him that he wants to be a part of. So just putting some positive spin on it for you, brother. I'm pumped up.
I hope you're right. That'd be great. And I've seen him sort of sing before. He's got a hell of a voice. He does like.
Oh yeah, he's a metal dude. That's what I'm saying. He's metal.
Yeah. Yeah, he does impressions and that, and he's got a very powerful voice. So I wouldn't be surprised if that, that's what his secret love of his. But I think he's going to get a lot of attention, as I am.
I hope so, and we'll make sure that he does not forget. And I suspect there'll be plenty of flat earthers there reminding him exactly what we would like to see. coming from the two of you. I think that's so cool.
Well, I don't know who's where right now in our chat or audience, but it looks like Jim is actually going to be in Vegas and in New York here in April and going into August. So if you're in any of those areas and check out any of those venues, which they're not paying me. I'm not going to give you the names, but go look it up. He's on tour right now. It may be a small tour, but it looks like he's in New York too.
Earth is flat. Changed my mind.
Well, look who it is. You know, I felt so bad. I keep meaning to reach out because I saw you pop on not too long ago, and then you fell asleep, and we never got to you, and there it was. But boy, it's sure good to hear your voice, Jonathan. How the hell you doing?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Nothing. We're just hanging out here with Alex Michael, Conspiracy Music Guru, just catching up.
Voice.
Yeah, he was over there with Jim Brewer on the Brunerverse. And we were just checking out
he's
how
so cool, Jim Brewer. Jesus Christ, he's so cool.
Right? What we've been talking about for like the last 10 minutes is how cool Jim Brewer is.
That special that he did with the way he was making fun of everybody with the vaccines and stuff. Oh my God, man. He was just like over the top. He was so spot on. And it wasn't just the political position, it was just the absurdity of it all.
That was like the first I'd seen of Jim Brewer in years, you know?
Time, yep.
And I know he's been doing stuff, but I don't keep up with any of that stuff anymore. But this one, you know, being a conspiracy nut like I am, this one came across my feed and I was like, wow, dude, he's not holding anything back. Yeah, that's the first I had really seen of him in a while, but he's been on fire since.
You know the difference between Jim Brewer? Jim Brewer was killing him that night.
Sorry, we missed the setup on that. The difference between Jim Brewer and who?
COVID.
Have you met Alex? Have you and Jonathan had a chance to talk anytime? I'm not sure I know or not.
Not that I'm aware of, at least not with us that I'm aware of. I don't think so.
No, I don't think we met.
Hey, bro, how's it going?
This
good,
is
man, good.
Our buddy Jonathan from Jersey. He's been around quite a minute.
Quite a bit.
I'm actually come on. I'm new to the flat Earth community. I don't really know shit about it.
Now he was on Strange World with Mark Sargent. He was the first co-host with Mark.
Oh, nice! I didn't know that. Blimey, you go back a while then.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I was first. I was more like Colonel Parker as far as Mark Sargent. Would you say that's true or not? I mean, those are out of those are Mark's words, not mine.
Well, I know Mark said he wouldn't have been able to do Strange World without you. I know that for sure, that Mark was very nervous about being on the radio.
That's right. And Jonathan from Jersey and a couple of drinks is the only thing that got Strange World off the ground.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, without me, Mark Sargent wouldn't have got off the ground without an Apollo rocket.
Speaking of Apollo, did you guys hear what Elon just did, supposedly, or what he's doing? Elon is going to fly Bitcoin bounty to the moon where anybody can go and grab it if they can get to it. Now, this is April 1st. It says it's April 1st.
Now, come on.
So, yeah. You got to beware April 1st.
Oh, my God. Okay, so this broke my brain. You've already went there, so I've got to get this out of me. So I'm reading the stories that are coming through, like I do, to prep for the show, and it's April 1st, so I'm having to be really careful. And here comes a story, and it's talking about a little school in Florida and how they're going to keep kids from seeing the Statue of David because it's pornography. And I'm like, okay, well, this is obviously another one of those ha-ha jokes for the internet for the April Fool's Day, and I move on with my life. No, yesterday there's a story where this college has now disowned this school because it's really happening. This is really a story, and my brain can't even deal anymore. I'm just like, I can't deal? I don't even understand where we are anymore. Help me. What's going on with people, man? Is it just, I don't know. I don't even have a clue.
So the statue of David,
David.
Michelangelo's David, is pornography?
Pornography. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but meanwhile, you see the books that they indoctrinate them with.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Why we have tranny fucking story hour in the library.
This is how you give a blowjob to another man because you love him, right? Yeah. That's what they're taught instead. Good Lord.
I'm gonna have to go back down. I'm back in Jersey, by the way. It's Jonathan from Jersey all over again. But maybe next time when I go down to Florida, I'll go down to the Gay Pride Parade in Wilton Manors and I'll dress like David. Make a political statement. I mean, I got the penis for it, so why not?
I was going to say, if you get recognized as David, then I guess maybe you've got bigger issues or smaller issues.
I mean, I'm hung like a lesbian, so I'm ready for it, you know? Anyway. Yeah, I don't know what kind of world we're living in. I mean, you know, it's like, you know, what? Like, there's how many genders now? I think that's where I came in on the call. You guys were talking about how many genders.
72, I
changed
believe.
my mind. 72? Is that what we're up to?
I think so.
Yeah.
So now if you do your suicide bombing, you just 72, whatever. Is that the payoff? And sorry, that was a really bad.
You know what I noticed though? Maybe this is just a coincidence, but the world started going sideways when, like, you know, the Mandela effect kicked in, and you know, Mark Sargent was promoting that, and then, you know, all of a sudden the world's flat. Mark Sargent was promoting that, so maybe this goes back to Mark. Maybe there's only. I'm just kidding.
Fucking Mark.
So here's a new one.
On a globe Earth, there was Adam and Eve and two genders.
So,
no, but if you think about it, listen, if our cosmology is different here on the planet, right? If the Mandela effect kicked in and the dimensions are multidimensional, and this is Jonathan from Jersey's sideway thinking, right? Maybe now we are in a universe where there are more than two genders, because when you think about like the Star Wars, you know, cosmology, or any of even Star Trek, you're dealing with multidimensional beings, and so in essence, there would be more than two genders. There wouldn't just be the human role model. And not for nothing, when you look at the far left, the really far left, you know, they're expressions of self, if you will. A lot of them look like aliens. No?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm a dog. I'm a wolf. I'm a cat. This kind of stuff. I mean, there's teachers that are complaining because children are acting like cats in their class and will only answer in a meow, and the teacher's told to deal with it.
Yeah, but I'm saying when we watch Star Wars or Star Trek, like, we don't get offended by any of the expressions that we see there. You see what I'm saying? So if we were really entering into a universe where we're dealing with multidimensional creatures and aliens, are we going to be able to accept?
Okay, no big deal, but I'd like our children to be, you know, they're based in reality somewhat. They could have a childhood, yes, but it doesn't need to be a sexual one. You know, they can believe in mermaids and, you know, whatever they want. Peter Pan flying around, coming to pick them up and blah, whatever. But when it comes to, oh, I can be a little girl if I want, or I can be a little boy, I'm sorry. That's where I say no. Reality is reality.
Yeah, no, I totally listen. Don't think I'm condoning it or I'm making it, you know, exceptions or anything for these people. I'm just saying that, you know, how do you resist your inner xenomorph if that's what you are? You see what I'm saying? Like, if it's an overlay or an oversoul, how do you change that? Could Jesus have resisted? Like, what was Jesus as a child? You know, if you believe in Jesus, right? Did he have his abilities, powers? Was he arrogant? Did he know he was God's son? You know what I mean? Could he walk on water? You know, his mom tried to give him a bath. Would he just be standing? You know, Jesus, come on, get in the bath already. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you fight that aspect of self if that's what's going to naturally express in time? And again, I'm not trying to make light of it. I'm trying to understand it. Like,
or were those 30, I mean, what is it, 20 years that we didn't hear about where he was not, there's nothing written about, allegedly. Is that when he discovered who he really was with his path, his walkabout, his journey, his time with the Essenes?
Yeah, but can you imagine nowadays? It's like, I'm the, you're the son of God. It's like, did you just
right? Well, half the people
identify my
think they
gender?
are now these days. That's why they act the way they do.
Yeah, but did you just assume my gender?
By saying I'm the son
That's
of
right.
God.
I've changed what I am because I am, able to do that. Screw what I was given.
And of course, there are those elements. There are those people that and will mock
You're bringing
that,
up a lot. I don't know what's happening, man.
What do you mean?
You were just cutting.
Can you hear me okay then? Oh, hold on a second. Let me move because I got a bad signal here where I'm at. Hold on. I was just going out to get some breakfast. Let me see if we can get a better signal.
What's for breakfast this morning?
I mean, what's a traditional Jersey breakfast, right? Pork roll, egg, and cheese? I don't know.
Did you see, guys, that in the state capitol of Tennessee, there was like a big demonstration, a bunch of protesters trying to storm the state capitol?
I did not. Missed that one.
Yeah, I guess there's not a whole lot of coverage going on of it, but yes, I'm not even sure what it was about. I just heard someone talking about people in Tennessee trying to, I saw pictures. I didn't really get into the article. I'm looking for it right now.
You guys see what's going on in France? In Paris?
Some of it, a little bit, not much, because of course we're not getting any of it on our systems here. But if you go to Twitter and a little few places, you can catch things. What are you seeing over there?
Shit's going down. I mean, apparently it's because it's more than what they say, but apparently what they're saying is because they raised the age of retirement from 65 to 67 and shit's kicking off. But that's not the reason. It's a whole bunch of things, isn't it? It's the whole culmination of what's been going on for the last few years. I think there's just been perpetual riots in Paris for the last 3 years from what I've seen.
I was just going to say that. How is this any different? I mean, even the yellow shirts.
It was going on prior to the big bullshit story that we all got masked up with. That was one of the early things that was being, like, we thought hidden. We talked about it here and there on Atmosphere that they were in the streets back then, and that's 2019.
Do they? They don't seem to be getting anywhere. There's never any. There's never anyone brought to justice. It's just a bunch of people rioting in the street, and then out come the stormtroopers with their bombs and their tear gases.
Right.
Never any accountability. It's just perpetual.
Josh shared some footage of it that I don't know the source. I can't remember now. I could probably go find it. But he shared a video, and within the first few 30 seconds of it, I saw 2 officers walking around with rigs with camera rigs. Now that may be standard shit now. I thought they all had body cams, not steady cams, but literal video rigs. Short of having a boom mic over their head, they had a boom mic on the camera. I mean, it was obvious that they were capturing footage, not trying to control a crowd with the body cam footage that happened to be catching. No, they're filming this event. So why are the cops taking the time out to film something that's being, as Liz said, shown on mainstream media when we don't see it most other places? Maybe showing the futility of how many years of burning in the streets, and so maybe
it could well be for their own. It could well be for their own training. You know, because maybe from the body cams it's too shaky footage, and they're just filming the event.
Right.
You know?
Oh, yeah. If it's possible, I'm giving it all kind of ideas. It could be any of that. It just seemed very suspect, the situation I saw. I'll find it. I'll look back in my history. It'll take a few, and I'll share it with you.
And the idea that the French were rioting because they raised the age to 65 is what seemed a little off to me. I mean, I could understand being upset, don't get me wrong. But not to the level that I was seeing. It didn't quite match up. Something seemed a little off.
Yeah, there's definitely more to it.
Well, yeah, it's like them saying that, you know, over in China they were having their protests because of because of whatever that Floyd, whatever his name was, the Black Lives Matter thing that started all that stuff. They were saying they were protesting that in China. It's like horseshit. How many political refugees are we protesting for here that happen in China? We don't. So I highly doubt there's, you know, hundreds of millions of Chinese people protesting the George Floyd beating.
Maybe they'll start their own movement like Yellow Lives Matter.
But yeah, there's protests all over the world because of this George Floyd thing. It's like, no, it's because of all the lockdowns people have going on. Come on. We're not retarded. But yeah, they can show you anything. They can show people storming a building or this and that and tell you it's for any reason they want you to think. They don't have to they don't do interviews with all those people. And if they do an interview and they want a certain story put out, I mean, how many times have we seen crisis actors?
So wait a minute, let me ask you a question. Do you think they're broadcasting that over here? You're saying that you're thinking, if I'm understanding this correctly, that this whole French thing, 1 million people protest, all that, that's just a farce. Like that's just a story they're putting to other footage, right? And if that's the case, then maybe they're looking to get Americans to react the same way prematurely, especially with this thing with Trump now. Like so many people that love Trump, right? Especially all the gun-toting Floridians.
They're trying, dude. They're trying to get a revolution going with this whole let's indict Trump and throw him in jail and blah blah blah.
Well, here's what makes me think it's theater.
Ever.
And here's what makes me think it's theater and it's bullshit. And I don't even know why he went up there. And I don't know. I'm just saying. But like supposedly what he did, what he's being indicted for, it's already past the statute of limitations. DeSantis already said he wasn't going to give him up as far as protective custody in the state of Florida where he could have stayed. On top of that, the thing he's being indicted for is something that Hillary did, even to a greater degree, and was actually admitted that she did it with $1 million worth of funds. You know, so there's all this bullshit around this whole thing. And again, why the distraction? And on my birthday, no less. Why are they creating this shit on my birthday? I don't need this.
Wait, it's today?
Yeah, it's like
Happy Corporation Formation Day.
Well, no kidding.
I like that. I like that term better. Happy. Wait, say that again. Happy Corporation.
Happy Corporation Formation Day.
Oh, that's brilliant, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean,
that's awesome.
They're indicting him because he paid off a porn star to keep herself quiet.
Because of things that had happened before he started running for president.
Scandal?
That's the big thing.
In
presidential
circles? Where's my blue dress?
You know we have.
So wait a minute.
Devil's got it.
Wait, they're gonna go after if they're gonna go after presidents that did something 20 years before they were in office. Like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna go after Bill Clinton next?
I mean, we have war criminals for president.
Can I tell you something about Bill Clinton? My friend, who was my chef in the vegan restaurant thing, before he did vegan, he used to cook traditional steaks and everything else. He was living in Arkansas. He said Bill Clinton used to come in all the time at this cat house. What do you call it? A brothel that he worked at. It was a nightclub and a brothel upstairs. And Bill Clinton used to come in all the time. He said he was the most charismatic guy, nicest guy. He would say hi to all the staff. He'd make jokes. Everybody wanted to be around him, you know, the guys and the girls, because he was such a funny, charismatic guy. He says, but he was in there all the time with his detail, you know, having fun with the girls. And, you know, he was married. And he was governor of the state of Arkansas. So, like, you know, F that shit, you know.
Dude, they have a hit list. I mean, you can go read the hit list, the Clinton hit list. It's insane.
There's a book. out there. I read it. It was something else. I can't remember the name. Probably can't even.
I mean, when somebody's Arkansided.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we have former presidents that are wanted, and they can't go places around the world. They can't go visit a lot of other countries because they're wanted for war crimes. They don't promote this stuff out there, but George Bush, hell, Barack Obama, you know, his I'm gonna go and drone strike this terrorist today and this terrorist tomorrow, and blah. You know, he killed like 90% innocent civilians with those strikes. That's not something you're not going to hear that on Fox or CNN. You're not going to hear that.
Not just that, but go look it up when it's if you look up U.S. Air Force runs out of bombs under Obama. That's a fact.
Yeah.
They actually ran out of bombs. He was using so many.
He
and
dropped
like you
more
said,
bombs than they did on Vietnam almost.
Yeah. So when people get bent out of shape out of some, again, cover story, some transgender got angry and shot up a place. Let's get rid of the guns again, right? It's like, really? Like, that wasn't even a paltry sum, I mean, compared to what Obama did on a daily basis.
But
That's
he was
like
the
saying,
cool first black president, and he smoked Big Bud, and he had a tranny. Sorry. And
that's pretty woke. That's pretty woke.
It's just crazy. Yeah, but they want to, and I'm not defending Trump. You know, he's not my guy at all. Oh, broken coffee cup.
oh, somebody dropped their wedding ring. I don't know why this came to my mind.
But yeah, I mean, it's not like he's done anything that they don't all do. Pay off somebody to keep their mouth shut for something that they've done, so they don't get politically, dragged through the mud. There's a lot of politicians that have done this. But no, I think this is all part of the show. Trump's part of the club. Sorry for all you people who think he's our next savior.
They're all in the club.
But I don't see him as being any different than Hillary or any of the other ones. This is to get us fighting amongst each other.
He's the wrestling he's the wrestling good guy this week, and he'll be the wrestling bad guy next week.
Yeah, you know what scares me though? What the hell is the distraction they're pulling this weekend? And the only thing I'm concerned about.
The distraction is they're removing real money.
I was going to say the CB.
They're launching their official digital American currency bullshit. It is happening.
The CBDC is what's going on today. I know, that's the distraction. We were just talking about it in Clubhouse last night. I'm in this one particular Clubhouse room called the Truth Tavern. There's two of them. That one and this other guy's room. This guy Augustus. He actually has Robert Kennedy Jr. coming in this week to talk about a whole ton of stuff. But that's a distraction. So I'm glad you're on it. I didn't mean to interrupt. What do you know on it?
Oh no, I know what I said. I found a story late last night and watched some couple things and really couldn't find any articles at all. So I shared a YouTube video in our feed for them. For everybody who can access the Ironworx there, just to kind of watch when you have a few minutes. But yeah, I mean, not only are they launching their official digital currency today, it's going to be a currency that will eventually replace all paper money. All transactions in your life will be traceable, all of them. And that digital money will have an expiration date, just like that gift card you got. It will expire out of your bank account if you don't use it when a certain time happens. And guess what else? If your little digital currency, your little social credit ain't up to par, it's all there on their little website. You can read it all. Let me go find that. I'll click it through to y'all. Hang on.
By the way, did you see the new video that's out that covers exactly that plus more? And it's done in the style of Pet Goat 2 about this guy who.
Oh no, not yet.
Oh yeah, it shows you what the outline of these 15-minute cities is and how that new currency works. And just like you said, if you don't spend it in your bank account within a certain amount of days, it just gets deducted, goes away. I can find let me see if I can find the link for the video.
Well, yeah, because you don't.
Oh wait, that's not the after the reset video I saw recently, is it?
Is it about 30 minutes long? It's a cartoon.
Yeah.
The guy's in
it's animation. He's in like a room.
I
shared it. I shared it like 3 or 4 days ago. Yeah, absolutely.
Jesus, man, that should be everywhere.
So if you
Number
decide
one,
that you want
how
to
is
work
it still on
hard and
YouTube? And number two, it should be everywhere. Yep.
What were you saying? If you decided you should work hard, and what else?
I was saying, yeah, so if you decide that you want to work hard and do without a couple of things that your neighbor has because you want to save up and start your own business, right? How do you do that if they take away your funds that you don't spend? How do you advance? How do you build the American dream here with this new system that
Well, that's the whole point, though. I mean, you'd be taking away from the system. You'd be taking away from the government. You care more about yourself and your private interests, which they're doing away with. There's no more private interests. They're the private interests.
They're doing away with negotiable instruments altogether. Is that what I'm understanding? How does credit work? How do you even have credit? So there's no more people trying to. There's no more credit collectors. There's no more collection agencies because you can't have negotiable instruments. Everything's digital now.
It's all based on your reputation. If you're in good standing and you're a good citizen of the state, then you have good standing, and maybe you can apply for a business loan through them. I mean, maybe you can get. Maybe if you get on the knees at the altar of Baphomet, you can fucking get your business, and you kiss the ring, or you enter the inner sanctum, or they enter your inner sanctum or sphincter or whatever you call it. I don't know. It's not looking good though.
It's going to push people a lot more towards Bitcoin and digital, isn't it? Which again I think is a win-win situation for them because I think that's utterly controllable, in my opinion.
Do you know why they're doing this now, though? Do you know why it's happening now, and the whole thing with Trump and all this other bullshit? Because even with Trump in office, right, and with all the so-called patriots and all the so-called amendment, gun-toting whatever was behind him, right, which was a majority of the country, still nobody effing resisted when the vaccine came in. And people want to push, oh, well, he's the king of the vaccines. Like he didn't resist it and he promoted it, and nobody got up in effing arms. Okay, once they saw that all these so-called freedom-loving Americans, didn't care about this COVID bullshit that we all knew was bullshit, didn't want to wear the mask and everything else, they said, you know what? Now we're ready. Now they're cowed. Now they're mesmerized. Now they care more about their creature comforts and everything else than freedom. And that's why they're pulling this now. Because they realize that the majority of people are just going to go along. Look, when they were pushing all these crazy narratives, even under Trump, with all the gender bending, this is beyond gender bending. I mean, okay, what like David Bowie did or Karma Chameleon, what's his name? Boy George and stuff like that. Back in the day okay, that was no big deal. I mean, at the times of Shakespeare, men were dressing in drag, even Milton Berle and all that shit. Okay, so the stuff that they're doing, that like what Dave Chappelle's talking about, is different than back then when it was funny, when it was actually funny. Okay, but now they've tested and they pushed every boundary. The fact that they got these books in school and the parents are now at these conferences yelling back at the panel saying, and they can't even read it aloud because people are, excuse me, have some decorum. Decorum? My 5-year-old son came home and learned what an orgy was, and you want decorum? And yet still, nobody took a goddamn rifle or gun and went out and fucking killed anybody. The fact that nobody's dead in Congress or Senate, or nobody took a shot at Bill Gates or anybody else, and I'm not advocating this. I'm not promoting this. I'm saying that there's no buildup of anger. Why? Because you have all these fucking gatekeepers out there who keep letting people be, live through them vicariously as the armchair quarterback and blow off that steam. These steam valves out there, like Joe Rogan and, other people, I won't name names.
Right.
But that's why I'm saying, if there was none of that and we had a true buildup of resistance, and we would have had the revolution already, and it wouldn't have happened. I mean, I don't know what to say, man.
Blow 80 guys away playing Fortnite. I don't need to go up in arms. I can vent my steam easily, man. Chill down.
No, but what
See, exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's all these distractions.
We've all seen distractions and state-sponsored attacks of terrorism. And the reason why it's state-sponsored, that we haven't had a generic actual terrorist act in this country, is because the way reaction and the way the press and everybody has the same narrative so quickly, how they're able to just immediately have an answer within minutes. It's like the magic bullet with JFK. Look, if domestic terrorism happened on this land, all right, I'll say it this way.
Remember laying on the stretcher next to him, you mean?
Yeah, but all right, so 9/11 happened, right? Nobody was certain of what was going on because everything was going according to their plan. When things went sideways on 9/11, literally, like, things started screwing up, there were two things that screwed up. that
I was
plane.
going to say two. Go.
Go ahead. Which ones? Go. You go first.
Right. With disintegrated plane, number one, and building 7. Pull it.
Okay. And
Hello.
you know how those are connected? You ready? Because that plane was supposed to be the one that hit World Trade Center number 7. All of a sudden, their story fell apart, and they had to cover it up. And real quick, they had to like scramble, like, "Oh shit, what do we do now? This plane went off course, or our remote control didn't work. Whatever the f happened, it slammed into the ground, or it got shot out of the sky, right? And then it was like disintegrated. It's like, now what are we gonna do?" And BBC already had the report. They punted the ball, but they forgot to give the memo back to the BBC because the time zone difference was different. They were scrambling in the control studio. Giuliani never went to the emergency bunker that was in World Trade Center 7 because it's just like, that's why it fell apart. So it wasn't supposed to go off at 5:20 p.m. in the afternoon. It was supposed to go off at whatever time that plane in Shanksville hit the ground. Do you understand? And with that, they would have probably continued down the line. Maybe it would have been the Sears Tower next or something else next. It would have been a rolling thing across the country or wherever it was going to go, but it didn't happen. So real acts of terrorism are as easy as some idiot, right? If you want to say like the Muslims, right? They're going to do some, the scary Muslims, and they always put the jihad and all that bullshit. Gas station, a gas tank with a greasy rag and a cigarette as a delay fuse to walk away 5 minutes. You see what I'm saying? Like, these things do not happen on a regular basis. There's never been an attack on America in a true sense. Even Pearl Harbor was a farce.
One of the best tells is that if all the news are reporting it as it happens, like live, nationwide, then there's probably some farce to it. I mean, I've seen so many, this plane crashed into this or this building or this, and we don't hear about it from back in the day. But like,
we're still developing news on the story. We're still trying to figure out what's going on, right? They're still trying to get the facts.
And it was kept somewhat local, Oh my goodness, yeah, plane crash, but it wasn't like San Francisco was covering the plane crash in Chicago live as it happened. Yeah, it happened, but it wasn't like nationwide this and that. Okay, once the second plane hit, I could see it, but I was already watching when the first plane hit. It was already on my news live as it was happening.
And listen, here's the thing, and again, I'm not promoting violence. I'm not promoting terrorism.
Planes, that's what I remember.
No, but let me just say this one thing, just so people don't think I'm promoting the wrong thing. People are intrinsically good. People generally want to be good people, right? No matter what their political spectrum and things like that. People want peace. They don't want to go into conflict. They don't want to go into war. And they definitely don't want to kill. That's not their business. Okay? That's somebody else's business of making profit on those things. But I'm just saying that there's too many egregious things that now it's affecting home, family, and everything else. And now that they see that enough people are not up in arms about anything, like they say, they're probably laughing to themselves every time they pull a new stunt and say, "Oh, and then we're going to tell them this," and they're going to accept it. And then when they actually accept it, they're like, "What? Where are we in clown world?" I'm sure they can't even believe
what they're saying to themselves. They're all going, "Man, this fluoride is working great."
Can I be honest with you?
I really think it's the TV more than it's the fluoride. I mean, I really believe that frequency thing they sit with and just, yeah, dude, come on. We've seen the fucking patent go.
Yeah, but now they're trying to make people, right? They say whoever shoots the first shot is the one who's going to lose, right? Because now they can act without whatever, they say, "Oh no, if everybody fights back, now they can pull the trigger and they can implement everything they want that we've been warned about by Alex Jones or anybody else, in the pushback from FEMA and whatever governments, right? Whatever conscripts come in and stuff under the UN actions." So that's why people are a little cautious, but they're probably thinking, "Holy shit, we dosed them with too much fluoride. Holy shit, we give them too much TV." These people are in a lulled sense. Like, how do we get them to go? The sheep will not leave the pen, so to speak.
Right. Right.
So I don't know. And I think what's going to happen is if there's going to be a true revolution in this country, it has to be something that actually happens. Like we said, a true crime, a true act of terrorism, or true organic action that other people are going to note it and say, "This feels correct. Now's the time." Do you see what I'm saying? That hasn't happened yet. We haven't seen any event like that.
Well, it won't be televised. The revolution will not be televised.
There you go. There you go. You just nailed it.
Yeah, you're not going to get the go order from your television. That's for sure.
Right. So no matter what happens with Trump, no matter what happens with the CBDC or CDBC, whatever it's called, CBDC, yeah, central bank digital currency, nothing's going to happen until that. What would you call that? Mass consciousness, 100th monkey theory. Until that kind of effect happens. But I don't know. I can't even place my finger or pulse on what that thing is going to be. It's gonna be blindsided. I think everybody's gonna be blindsided by that when it happens, and even the government and everybody else. You're gonna know instinctually. I think everybody in their gut is gonna know. Holy shit! This is it. This is the event, if you will.
Well, yeah. I mean, Jim Brewer was already talking about the fake alien invasion on that one comedy show he did. He was like, they came out and told us that they shot down a UFO, and nobody even flinched. 15 years ago, people had been running around, like crazy people, like, where do we build our bunker? It's like Independence Day. But now, after, we've all been dragged through a bunch of nonsense for a couple years, people aren't buying it as much. They said they shot down a UFO. The Pentagon said this. And everybody just went about their day like nothing. No big deal. It's almost like we're over traumatized.
By the way, you guys don't have breaks anymore? I noticed since I got on the call, there hasn't been one break. No outro, no intro, or how's this work? Are you guys even on the air?
Yes, we are on the air.
Okay.
We just don't hear break music.
As to what happened to the commercials and the break music and the intro music and all that, that's a really good question, one to which I do not have the answer. But the way I understand it, some of the third-party apps like iHeart, maybe and TuneIn, I think they have commercial breaks. They can hear them. We're just not privy to it. So as such, we tend to just not pay that much of attention and end up talking right through them.
So wait, outside of the misery in the world, are all you guys doing all right?
Man, I love life, dude. I woke up. I got something for you, Jonathan.
Yes, sir.
All right. So this guy was talking to these two younger people, right? Maybe in their early 20s. And he was like maybe in his 50s. And he was like, so if I gave you $1 million, would you be happy?
Oh, I know where you're going with this. I know which story you're talking about. That's a good one. Go ahead.
And he's like, yeah, of course. They're both like, yeah, he's like, it'd be pretty hard to get you guys upset for a little while, probably, I mean, it'd take something pretty traumatic to make you mad. You'd be happy. Like, well, yeah, I'd be real happy. He's like, okay, now let's make it $10 million. I'll give you $10 million today. But there's a catch. You don't get to wake up tomorrow. And both of them are looking at him like, what? No, that's crazy. Who would take that? He's like, so what you're saying is just waking up tomorrow is worth more than $10 million to you today. So why didn't you feel like that this morning when you woke up? Like you were just given $10 million. Because yesterday you wouldn't have taken $10 million for just waking up. So every day when you wake up, think of it as a gift. Yeah, maybe yesterday didn't go as you planned. Maybe things didn't work out, but today is a new one. You get another shot at it. Enjoy it. Be appreciative of just waking up. Because it really is that important to you, whether you know it or not.
Can you know what? And if I can support and validate exactly what you're saying, I did use that analogy just a couple of days ago with somebody. I was telling somebody about that specific clip, and I thought it was brilliant. Right? He had two kids in the studio, and he asked them, and that's a brilliant example. It puts things into clear perspective. But I got to be honest with you, like in all my 50 years, now it's 51. I never had peace, grace, or gratitude in my life, and I don't know did I speak to you guys about what happened back in September and all the events and everything that happened since then? About how I went up to Vermont and I was just done with it.
Yeah, you and I did, and you came on and talked about it. Yep.
Yeah. So it's like, since then, like, things have changed, like, once again, and I had all these opportunities open up to me, and it allowed me to come up to Jersey. Got to spend time with my son over the past 2 weeks, who, by the way, is getting like A pluses at school. Check this out. He got a
Nice.
summer intern job, right? And he says to me, "Oh yeah, I got a job for the summer." I said, "Yeah, what's going on with the paid internship?" And he says, "Oh," he goes, "I don't know. This thing for Spotify came up," and I was like, "Are you getting any kind of pay as an intern?" He goes, "Yeah, like 33 an hour." And I'm like, 33 an hour? I was like, "That's not intern. Like, what the f? Like, Daddy would like, 33 an hour." So it's like, but he's doing really well. But the thing is, like, for myself, I have things that I'm right on the precipice of, that my friends that know me are totally behind me and support me. Other people are looking at me like, "Dude, what are you doing? Like, where are you landing?" I slept in my car last night. I'm over here at Planet Fitness. I took a shower, right? I go to bed. You know me, I don't sleep. So I fall asleep in my car, though, while I'm on a podcast, like I did on your show the last time I tried calling in. And I get up and I keep moving. And this is how refreshed I am on like 3 hours sleep, 4 hours sleep. Sometimes I'll sleep like 7 if I can. But the point is like, I can't land right now because I got three things going right now, where I could be either New York, I could be in LA, or I might be on an RV. Somebody gave me an opportunity to go on an RV and travel the country. I think I told you that, right, Walt, about the thing with Cosm and all that other stuff that's in the works.
Yep.
And I spoke to our friend David Gerald just recently. He threw me 2 other scripts that he's looking to make into movies before the.
That's awesome.
So there's a lot of, but the point I'm trying to make is, even without all the necessary resources and everything else, and things that other people say, "Dude, what do you mean you're living in your car? You're homeless?" I was like, "No, I'm living in my car as if it's the Millennium Falcon." I said, "Nobody fucking frowns upon Han Solo. Like, tell me where Han Solo's apartment is when he wants to take Leia out for, on a date and take her home for Netflix and chill. He doesn't have one." So yeah, I'm like Han fucking Solo. Well, Han Solo, if you will. I'm not dating anybody. But the point is that no, but I'm in transit, right? I'm constantly on the move and I'm doing things. So how the hell can I land? And let me tell you where I'm going with this. When I was leaving Florida, all these things were aligning me like you wouldn't believe. I was living down in Jupiter. I was working. I was making money. I was catching up on things, on bills, everything else. Had a fabulous Christmas. Got to buy presents for my son and my dad and all that. It was a great time. But as I'm leaving Florida, I'm like, why am I leaving now, God? Why are you sending my ass back to New Jersey? Now it's like the first time I resisted coming back to Jersey. And you know what the answer was? He says, "You're a man of peace. You finally achieved peace within yourself. This is the beauty that everybody was looking and saw in you, but you couldn't express because you didn't have it for yourself." And I said, "Okay, what does that mean?" They said, "You're going to go where the conflict is and bring that peace." I was like, wow. I was like, "Are you serious?" Like, yeah. They said, for some people, being at peace means I have my house, I have my family, I have my job, I have my Sunday football and all that. And that's great for them. But guess what? I mean, that wouldn't be good for me. That would be terror. That would be like a prison, right? That would be something I'd be stuck with. I would be drudgery to get up every morning on a Monday and do that Monday through Friday. That's not Jonathan from Jersey. No, I got to go where the conflict is and say, look, no matter where you're at, there you are. There's a better way. Be at peace. So even the idea that I was talking about, when are people going to active terrorism, like, and something, I'm not promoting that. What I'm saying is the resistance that people have been putting up, the natural inherent position of man. I still believe that we're all inherently good people. And if we didn't have all this shit put on us, I think that's part of what's actually blowing up in their face too, is that they're doing all these crazy acts and they keep stepping it up and stepping it up and stepping it up, that it's going to be such a stark contrast that people are going to say enough, and it won't need to be a revolution. It's just going to be people literally walking in mass with handcuffs in their hand and leading these people out and throwing them in their own prisons. That's what I really see happening. That people are just going to get fed the fuck up. But it's going to be a peaceful revolution. I'm done.
That would be awesome if it would be that way. It definitely would be nice. That's what I hoped for when I began all this madness, is just suddenly everybody goes, "Oh, okay," and wakes the fuck up and gets right. And yeah, somehow that didn't happen that week on my YouTube video. So here I am still fading away.
But the 100th monkey theory works in 2 ways, right? And if somebody has an aha moment and everybody gets it, you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine everybody waking out of their stupor and saying, "You know what? How was I so crazy to believe like there were actually more than 2 genders? Why did I play along with that? Why did I accept that?" I think that's the kind of thing that's going to happen. But I don't know what that event horizon is going to be. I don't know what that event's going to be. The sobriety.
And we've said it here, Josh especially hammers it, is, do we want that all at once? I don't think we do.
In terms of what? In terms of the disruption to the status quo, or disruption of what?
Just people all getting angry at the same time. The stages of grief.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
anger is one of those stages. We just don't want 100 million people angry at one thing all at the same time, because then you get into mob mentality where
well, this is the thing.
Angry people, and one person yells out something and they all start doing it.
Yeah, anger is an irrational emotion, right? Revenge is an irrational action because you're not thinking logically, right? You're just reacting, like you said.
Don't get me wrong, though. I mean, anger is also a gift. Anger motivates you to, I'm not saying like rage. Rage is a little beyond, but anger, just a short example.
But in the mob mentality, like you said, what you're describing, it's unbridled, it's uncontrolled, and it could easily be shaped into a narrative. It's like I've always said, if you had a 1 million man march through Washington, and a true peaceful 1 million man march, man and woman, right? You only need one agent provocateur from who works with CNN or one of these FBI or whoever, these informants, under those masks. And all you see at the right moment when CNN says, okay, action, here comes a Molotov cocktail out of the middle of this peaceful crowd. And everybody there is truly peaceful people that just want to be there for peace. But this Molotov cocktail is what gets highlighted. And then CNN plays it back in slow motion. And then you see it explode against a cop car or a preschool window or whatever the hell. And now it makes it look like 1 million people who, again, are there peaceful, are all in on it, are all supportive of it. Because why? After that scene of that thing exploding, you have people cheering and raising their fists and saying, now it looks like a mob, right? Because you're narrating a movie and you're changing the narrative. So again, this won't be televised in the way that they want it. It will be a silent, peaceful, revelation, or more than a revolution. It's going to be a revelation. People are going to wake the F up.
Yeah, for sure.
And
your anger is a gift.
What'd you say?
Anger is a gift.
Anger is a gift. Is that a heavy metal song? It should
Rage
be.
Against the Machine.
Rage Against the Machine.
Okay. That's funny.
Is that Know Your Enemy?
That is Know Your Enemy. Or wait, I think that's Freedom. Let me think. Wait, pump. Yeah, that's Freedom. Yeah, that's Freedom.
Yeah, Freedom. No, that's Wake Up.
Oh yeah, you're right. So this is Freedom. Yeah, freedom. Yeah, right. All right, bring that shit in. Oh.
It's time to look for the cold rock, Jeff.
Oh my
God! Ribbon instead of your swastika. Nothing proper about your propaganda. Oh, Rage, man, they had a
come
huge
and play. Come and play. Forget about the movement. All right, I'll stop.
I do want to take just a minute and point out the distinct difference between nonviolent and non-aggressive. Violence is a necessary part of life, unfortunately. We know this inherently. That's why we allow things like the police to exist and the military to exist, because we don't want to fuck with the violence. We'd rather somebody else do the violence, so we take a little bit of tax money, we pay people to do the violence for us. But when it comes right down to it, violence is our responsibility. When someone is attacking our family, violence is going to be necessary. Unless you're pacifist, right? Unless you were nonviolent, then you can just sit back and watch it happen and just throw your peace sign like, no, dude, I'm nonviolent. Because violence is necessary when you have to protect yourself and your loved ones and your property, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. However, non-aggression is being able to keep a rein in on that violence and only use it for protection of others and not for aggressive purposes. That's why the distinction between non-aggressive and non-violent.
So wait, are you saying that Superman was violent but non-aggressive, that he pulled his punches?
I don't know. Obviously, the yellow sun had an effect.
until D Snyder, until
D. Snyder, where the hell? You're still in heavy metal mode. Jesus
until
Christ.
Snyder,
The
the
real story of
director, I was being silly. Until he broke the cardinal Superman rule, yeah.
Until D.
Superman
Snyder
didn't
showed
kill
up in
anybody.
drag and there was more than
Until
two
D.
genders, and
Snyder showed up
Superman
and was
said,
like,
my name
I
says
wanna rock.
Superman. It has the word man in it.
Superman only pulled his punches with Lois.
Oh. Shit.
It was pretty bad.
I can't believe they put Margot Kidder up against Christopher Reeve back then. Like he would have been better off with like a really hot Lois Lane, like Jane Seymour, like when he was in that movie Somewhere in Time. But Margot Kidder,
yeah, I never got that one either. She's rough.
dude, she was like, no offense. Well, yeah, take offense. I don't care. She was like white trash personified. She was rough as hell.
And just to hear her talk makes me want to fly away.
She looks like a Jersey broad. I got to tell you, she looks like one of these broads you'd find.
Can you read my mind?
One of those bridge and tunnel crowds.
Yeah, she looked like she drank a lot.
Right, she looked like, dude, she totally looked like she drank, smoked cigarettes, right?
And was probably coked out the whole time.
She probably had razor burns down there when she did shave. I doubt she did. You know, she wasn't waxing that thing, or she wasn't bleaching that other.
Ladies and gentlemen, we can't ever even.
The opinions expressed by Jonathan from Jersey are not necessarily those expressed by TFR, Ironworx Media.
And I'm pretty sure that's before razor bumps were a thing. Razor burn was a thing. That was still pretty early on. Full bush was still in swing.
She's the type of woman who wore pantyhose without panties. I mean, she was just a filthy whore. No.
Looking like an old doll head.
But yeah, seriously, when you go back and you look at, he was a good-looking guy, right? And he was like the real Superman, and that's what you got to put him with. This is why I think Superman 3 was the best of all of them. Why? Because when he turned to his true like dark side, did you see the broad he hooked up with that was just hanging out on top of the Statue of Liberty?
Yeah,
crap. That was the same girl. That was the same actress that was in.
Wasn't that the one with Richard Pryor in it? I think was that the one?
Yeah, that was one with Richard Pryor. Yeah, and then Richard Pryor falls off the building and comes floating all the way down. And that was that same sexy woman was the one that was Humper Death in History of the World Part 1.
Okay,
So,
which one was worse,
wow.
Superman 3 or Beverly Hills Cop 3?
Oof. Oh, Beverly Hills Cop 3, absolutely.
I don't know.
They were both.
I don't know.
3 was, dude, they made fake kryptonite and you had Richard Pryor in it. Anything with Richard Pryor in it's good.
Oh no. It
Dude,
was that stage when Richard Pryor was so coked out that all he would know how to do was
Yeah, he wasn't allowed.
He wasn't doing nothing funny anymore.
We learned about fractions of pennies and how you could like make a program.
Right.
That was the basis for Office Space.
That was Office Space, right? I get that,
I
but
think
still,
one of the
movie was
Jay and Bob
painful.
movies covered it too.
And I was young. I was excited. I was ready for it, and it was painful. It was painful. Very painful.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying Superman deserved better.
He did deserve better.
Especially when you had Linda
But
Carter.
then think about that movie that came out right after Superman, Death Trap.
Death Trap.
You didn't see Death Trap with Michael Caine and Christopher Reeve?
I don't remember.
I won't even spoil it for anybody. Damn it. Go. Put locker it or whatever y'all do to see movies. Yeah, Death Trap. Christopher Reeve. Michael Caine. Phenomenal fucking movie. And
wait.
Go back and watch that, and then go back and watch Superman and think about beards and things like that.
I got one for you. You ready? Right, and I've never seen this, and it's one of our favorite directors, John Borman. You ready?
Uh-oh. What?
I won't tell you the year. I'll tell you the actor. The main actor was Powers Booth, the guy who played the jet pilot in Red Dawn.
Red Dawn. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in a lot of great movies.
1995. I'll give you the year now. Do you know what movie I'm talking about? It's a John Borman movie, and I never saw it, and I can't wait to watch it.
I apparently missed it. Oh wait. Emerald
Go ahead.
Forest.
The Emerald Forest, and I
Dude,
heard
Saw that in the theater.
Great.
it was the basis.
Saw it at the theater.
Yep.
Watched it every time it came on HBO. It's fucking great.
Is it really that good? It's really that good.
I own the
it's beyond
DVD.
that good.
I saw it in theater
Thank
as a
you.
child, and I own the DVD as an adult.
Yeah, I'm getting chills thinking
And
about watching that
I'm a
movie.
movie buff, right? So how much am I going to enjoy this?
Just wait till you watch this. You're gonna be looking for the bamboo.
Under the band, under the
green
bamboo tree.
Dude, that movie is so amazing. Oh my god.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
how have I gone through life and not seen this effing movie when I've seen
I
it?
don't know, because I'm like Josh, saw it at the theater, watched it every time it came on. I had the VHS. I never got the DVD. I'm a little jealous. I ain't gonna lie.
Do you want me to blow you guys away? You ready for this? You know a movie I've never seen? All three of them? The Godfather series. I refuse to watch it.
I've only seen them once. I was the same as you. I was probably like 34 or something like that, 35, about 10 years ago. And I sat down and watched all three of them in a row. And I was like, really? But they weren't bad movies.
But it's worse because I'm Jonathan from Jersey and I'm half Italian, and I just went down to an Italian sit-down dinner last week at the Belmont Tavern in Belleville, which is a known mob, hangout, whatever. But the point is, like, how the hell did I make it through life without watching those three? Everybody always talks about it, and I'm like, I'm so resistant to watching it.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't bad movies, but I didn't get what everybody else got out of it, I guess. I mean, it was a different time. I had already seen movies like Casino and, Goodfellas and all these other type of where it was much more like graphic, And then when you go back and watch these older movies, the stories are great, but it's just missing that authenticity of realism. It's like watching Outlaw Josie Wales. Great movie, but there's not even a hole in the guy's shirt when he gets shot. It's just red paint on his shirt. It kind of makes it not as good as when it was made, But yeah, that's how I looked at the Godfather movies. I was like, well, yeah, the writing was amazing, the acting was well done, but the movie part of it, I bet the book was amazing. I'll say that much.
I read the books as probably a preteen, maybe right at 12 or 13, because I saw the movie on TV. Didn't see it in the theater. Saw it on TV, not HBO, TV, and was very like, wait, this is what everybody is all excited about. So I read the book to understand why this movie was so great and why this acting of it was supposed to be such great acting. Didn't ever get it, never did understand it, didn't get it. The movie was not exceptional. The only thing really great in there was Sonny, because I love me some James Caan. But other than that.
Speaking of James Caan, I just put something in the chat for you guys to take a look at. I think you'll appreciate it greatly. I finally got around to making it. I always wanted to, and it's on my Instagram. But there's something else, too, I meant to share with you. I don't know how much you guys cover the AI. I'm working with a team, and I'm going to be very vague on this because I can't say too much on air. But some of the players that are involved and invested in this, and this is verified, are ramping up in terms of the Android component of it. They're actually building androids, kind of like, what was that movie with Will Smith, iRobot? That iRobot? Okay. And they're taking people's AI, right? So they take an image of a person and they take their affects and they record it. Basically, you record your personality into your chat GPT type of interface that owns your mannerisms. And they're putting it into the Android so that when these things are ready to launch, let's say 6 months, however much you want to play with it's almost like the Tamagotchis. It learns your behaviors or it learns your patterns, or like the what were Furbies, right? It records and learns. Okay. So people are going to have facsimiles of themselves in these androids acting on behalf of themselves as their assistants, as their whatever the hell they want them to have autonomy of. So if you want this thing to have your passwords and be able to go in and be your personal assistant, say, hey, whatever you want to call it. I need my itinerary for this. It's going to be on the ready, but it's going to have a physical presence in the physical world to interface with physical people. And this is happening right now. And I can't name the names of people that are invested with this because I don't know if they've gone public with it yet. I don't think they have. But I'll tell you off air, Walt or Josh or Zach. And
All right.
dude, it's happening. Like I said, when I say I can't land, like it's hard to hit a moving target, right?
True that.
So let's just say, as long as we have an understanding and agreement, this package will never reach port. Do you know what movie that's from? This package will always stay out at sea. Or this cargo will always stay at sea. It'll never find a port. What was that movie, The Firm, with Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Remember they had the evidence, and at the end he took it out to sea. Anyway, that's a very vague reference. But yeah, no, there's exciting things going on behind the scenes. Like I said, I didn't call into, I just wanted to share with you guys because I'm just excited. And I can't go to breakfast. I forgot my friend's buying me breakfast at 10 o'clock, so I got to be good. I got to wait. Man, I love hearing your voices, man. It's been like forever and a day or a minute, whatever the hell you guys say these days.
It's been a long time. Yep. I've been
Where's
busy.
your other guy? I didn't mean to preempt the rock and roll dude.
No, Alex, everybody, I was going to tell everybody before we got out of here. Alex, unfortunately, got a load of manure in. No, I'm kidding. He got some soil he had to go get dealt with. Somebody was delivering there at his home, so he had to pop out really quick.
It was a good time for me to step in.
It was perfect. So if I told him he can come back Friday if he's got time and check it out. But I know he's trying to get into some gardening. There's been a little back chatter there in our chats about electro. I know, dude.
The electro culture is amazing. To see the chat on this show chat right here on Skype is just crazy. Between Callum and Alex and Nick Fouquet Word, the stuff they are doing with
shocking.
It's absolutely shocking. The way they are including electricity and copper wires into their gardens is really cool.
Oh, wait. Oh, they're doing that thing like they were talking about as far as the acceleration of the plant growth and the size.
Yes.
Dude, you gotta, Josh, give me an effing phone call later and fill me in on some things, man.
Check the chat.
All right.
You know where you dropped
your... This very chat where you're at, just go back up and you'll see it all. It's
that guy, it says Pianist de Veo, whatever the hell.
Just keep
the video.
Just keep on scrolling up. You'll see.
Just keep on going up.
Really?
You'll see it between the
conversation.
Electro culture.
Yeah.
Now you found it. Yeah, good stuff in there.
Lots of stuff up there.
I have a feeling I know what he's doing without even going into it, but I won't say it on air. But this is awesome.
Well, that's what's cool is it's
pretty amazing.
Just this chat has 3 different people in completely 3 different locations.
3 different locations.
It's crazy.
So wait a minute. I haven't used Skype in a long time. Without you guys being on the show, I can log into this channel at any time because I'm part of this. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, right on.
You were in the inner sanctum, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome to the sanctum sanctimonious. But definitely excited to see what results we get from all these different places. It's going to be crazy for sure.
I got to be honest with you.
Damn it, what was it? Go ahead.
I feel guilty coming in here sometimes because I just come on. I never come on assuming that anybody will know who I am. It's more the other way around. So I feel bad if I shock anybody that doesn't know who I am. You know what I'm saying? But for the old fans,
you're
it's all good.
Well known in these circles, and for people like Alex who are just meeting you, I'm sure you'll become quickly known. So,
and it really is sort of the same wire we all walk. You don't want to spend every show having to rehash who you are, where you came from, how you got here. So at some point you're just like, all right, fuck it, I'm just gonna roll with it. And then if y'all are that interested, we've got 6 or 7 years worth of a back catalog. You're welcome to go back and listen to.
I still think back to the day, the first time I called into your show, and I don't know if it was Walt that picked up on it first. Like, your voice sounds familiar or something.
No, I think it was Josh that hit first. And then it was like a domino effect. It was like, bing, bing, bing. Like, whoa, what?
Dude, I was in February.
And I just realized, did you know you said the rock and roll guy, did you know who we were even talking to, Alex Michael? It's Flat Earth Man. That's the guy who did the country Flat Earth songs.
Conspiracy
He's
music
not
guru.
He's not. Yeah, conspiracy.
Oh, is
music.
that right?
Yeah.
He's not country. He's not like me. Mine's not a character. His is, and it's amazingly done.
That's awesome.
Yep. So.
Hey, Jonathan, we got I'm the in chat wondering where in Jersey.
I know you got it. I meant to go back to that. Thank you. Where are you from, Jonathan?
So I'm from Newark originally, right? But then we moved down to Monmouth County to Red Bank, and so that's where I'm in the area right now. I'm in that area, seeing friends, reconnecting with people. Like I said, I just spent time with my son. He came home for 2 weeks from school, and then he's going. He went back yesterday, Sunday. So yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. But I don't know how long I'll be here for. I have a lot of things in progress. One of them was my friend bought an RV. He calls me out of the blue. He says, "What are you doing?" Right? This is a couple months ago in Florida, 2 months ago. And I said, "What do you mean this exact moment?" He says, "No, life in general." I'm like, I'm a free agent. He says, "You want to go on the road, do podcasts, do your healing work, do everything?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why? What's up?" Check this out. He buys an RV, and I've seen it. I went there in person. He got it for $18,000. It only has 1,600 miles on it. It's a 37-foot. It's in like perfect condition. It just needs tires, and that was it. That's all you got to put on it. The guy who bought it got sick right after buying it, and he died. And his kids put it in storage. So like now we have this RV, and we're outfitting it with cameras and all this other stuff. We're getting ready to take the show on the road, and we have some really good backers and everything else, and tying it back to Cosm, and a bunch of other stuff that I mentioned before to you, Walt. So
that's awesome, dude. I'm so excited.
So that's why it's so easy for me to be patient. It's like, you ever see that experiment with rats? They put rats in a container where they're drowning them. Go ahead.
What up, Travis?
Need a chef?
Hello, Travis.
What's up?
Hey. Yeah, if you need a chef, just hit me up, or a photographer or whatever. But hey, I'm on my way to pick somebody up, but I just got to share the good news of the gospel of Ricky Lee Jones. I just discovered Ricky Lee Jones like 3 days ago, and I cannot get enough of Ricky
That's
Lee
awesome,
Jones.
man. That's awesome.
She is absolutely a goddess. You got to check out her album Pirates. I haven't even gotten past that album. I just keep listening to it over and over and over again. So anyway, guys, just want to jump in and say hi. And I also shared a link to a new channel that I started when I go on my walks and I start talking about shit. So I appreciate it.
Hey, wait, did you just follow me on Instagram? Is that I just followed you back?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to I'm gonna reach out to you and send you my phone number, man. I'd love to talk with you.
Cool. All right, guys, I gotta get out of here.
All right, love you, Trev. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.
We'll talk at you in a bit.
Brother. Give us a little beep.
The tiny one.
Right. Oh, he's not driving the truck anymore. He's not
a little beep. That's what I said. Not a honk, but a beep.
Hey Josh, can you click on the link that I put in the back channel? Can you play that? I want you guys to see it visually.
While you're getting that set up,
I watched
it. Before we get to it, I will say this real quick. Thank you so much, Nuba, over there on Rock Fan, for that tip. We appreciate it. It looks like Nuba has launched a quota-free chat GTP for us Ironworx listeners. I will include that link here in the chat, and I'll put that in the show description for those of you who would like to check out his. Here, I'll drop it right now, actually. Pretty crazy. Thank you, Nuba. That's cool as hell.
Couple different.
Play with it without all the. Yeah. Go ahead, John.
Like I said, there was just a couple different AI stories in the news real quick before we get out of here. We've got about 13 minutes left or so. I saw one where all these big, tech guys were saying we should put a 6-month pause on the development of this AI so that we can get a better bearing sort of on where we are. And then there was another sort of one of these AI experts saying we just need to blow it all up and not use it ever again.
Go and destroy the building.
Which I thought was just kind of funny.
Yeah.
Don't forget what Linda Moulton House said. Never mind.
What did she say?
Go there. We'll talk about it off there. I'm not putting that one back out there. It's really goofy.
But yeah, I saw that. He was calling for like everybody go to the building and burn it down. Pretty much what he said. Or else we're all in trouble and the world's going to end and yada, 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 yada. I'm sorry, I need a little more than that.
What do you think,
Yeah,
Jonathan? Do you think someone could actually program a computer to think? Or do you think they program computers to do what they're told to do?
I mean,
That's a horrible way of asking the question. That's kind of a loaded question there, or whatever. But yeah, I mean, do you think that AI is even possible? The idea of artificial intelligence, like something that will become self-aware and think that it's alive.
here's the thing: we've had some elevated conversations in Clubhouse, like this one particular room I was telling you about. We really have top level people, even names you might know, because they're interested, right, and they have influence, and more importantly, they have resources, so they can, get into this. And that's how I got into that project I was telling you about. But as far as the AI component, without the emotional quotient, it really can't have a sentience, so to speak, right? Even Spock was half human on Star Trek. So, if you have a computer that's so smart that can do everything, right? It's almost like the computer in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. When people posed a question to it, as far as the ultimate, what's the ultimate question and answer and all that stuff, and the answer came back 42. From a calculation standpoint in raw intelligence, it might be 42. But to apply it to our emotional status and our understanding, want to understand what peace is or what life is or who God is, 42 would not suffice. From a computer standpoint, 42 might be the absolute perfect. Even Tesla, in terms of talking about 369, yes, that applies to many things, but it doesn't apply to a little kid who hurts his knee and needs a kiss on his boo-boo. You see what I'm saying? Some things don't translate without that component. So again, I don't want to limit AI. I know that sounds a little odd, but like it would be the equivalent of God limiting us and never giving us a chance to grow and evolve. So I'm saying, hey, listen, I would screw Rachel. I'm not going to question if she's a replicant or I don't care what she is. Just get naked, lady. Get in the bed. I'll teach you how to be human. No, but I'm saying, no, really, in the movie Blade Runner, right? Harrison Ford was so pent up in killing these replicants. And then at the end, you see this human compassion come out of Rutger Hauer's character and this little thing about tears and rain that's so effing profound. And then the dove, I think, that scene with the dove when he releases it and it's supposed to be like his spirit going up to heaven. Right. He showed the true face of humanity and what he said on his last words of death. He could have been violent in that last act. Like some people, they fight to the death. No, what was he? He was compassionate. He saved Harrison Ford's life. In a sense, he kind of earned his humanity by that one act, that one gesture. Okay. But supposedly I heard that dove, that whole thing wasn't scripted, that was just ad-libbed. That whole speech was even ad-libbed. Did you know that?
I knew it. Maybe a year ago or so, maybe. It wasn't like I've known it since the movie came out. I just knew.
No, but do you know how brilliant? How brilliant that makes that
genius.
scene?
I love
like at that point.
Dude. He's phenomenal.
Yeah. So yeah, so just ask the question one more time, or did I answer it?
No, that's what I know about it is that a great portion of it I know was supposedly.
No, but I mean for Zach, did I answer your question in terms of AI sentience?
Yeah.
Okay.
What time do we got? Got a few minutes here. I got nothing, man. I'm still exhausted.
Have you seen Mosquito Coast with Harrison Ford, Jonathan? That's another good one.
That one I have seen. Yeah, that was good.
How about Fandango with Kevin Costner?
Oh, Fandango! I love that part with the laundry.
That's pretty good.
That is the best scene ever.
Yep, just he's falling out of the sky.
Up in that plane. Oh, when he's getting chased by the police and he goes under the. You see where he is? He has no map and he goes down to the highway to see if he's going in the right direction. That was balls out awesome.
That was one of my favorite movies for a long time.
Fandango. But real quick before I forget, so talking about distractions, right, and shifting people's direction, right? Do you think if they disclose the truth about flat Earth and anything like that, would that have a positive or negative impact? Would that be a big enough distraction for them to implement more, or would that free everybody's minds to act on their own autonomy once again? Do you think? So, basically, I'm saying, isn't the flat Earth in essence dangerous in that regard, or do you think they can control the narrative beyond that once it's revealed?
Hmm.
Do you see why I say it that way?
Right. Well, I mean, well,
It's like
they're going to
Neo.
change
It's
it.
like Neo
History's
being told
always
that
rewrote by the winner.
But I'm saying it's like Neo coming to the realization that he's inside the Matrix once he was released from that pod. And he says, like, I can only show you the way, I can only show you the door, like, to free your mind, so to speak. So again, the concept of the flat Earth, and this is why, again, I'm not a proponent of it, is because it changes the structure and the cosmology of too many things. It destroys and deconstructs too many people's beliefs, even though they're false beliefs, right? And they've been indoctrinated. But do you see what that would do to their control? If all of a sudden remember all right, here real quick. Remember the movie, that Cinderella movie with Drew Barrymore? I love that movie. Not Never Been Kissed, the other one.
50 First Dates?
No, not 50 First Dates. One where she's like she's Cinderella, the Cinderella story one. And at the very end, her mother gets exiled with the mean daughter, with the mean stepdaughter, and they're doing laundry. And she goes, "Go ahead, Marguerite, pick that up." And she goes, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Well, I'm management. I don't do any work around here." And she's like, "You're a nobody, just like me." So when the flat Earth gets revealed, all of a sudden people realize, wait a minute, you're saying all this time I've been under a glass dome and you just self-appointed yourself and gave yourself these fucking titles saying you're royalty? I don't give a fuck if you are related to Jesus Christ and Nephilim or anybody else. You're a fucking nobody like me. Fuck you. Who gave you the power? Kiss this fucking ring.
Yeah, no, that's right where I am. I don't know what to tell you, Jonathan. That's the alternative is we could just live in blissful ignorance. There is that, but short of blissful ignorance, whereupon nothing changes and those in power stay in power, and the rest of us nobodies just have to continue supplying them with our energy. Then fuck it. Otherwise, yeah, kiss my hairy white ring.
But do you see why they need space and the idea of elevation the same way they need heaven and hell and different levels of whatever? Like they have to keep us structured in this hierarchy of know your position. The same thing with the pyramid on the Freemason thing. Know what level you're at. Know your position. Know your social status. Same thing with these social credit scores. You do away with all that, and everybody has the autonomy and equal resources and equal standing. Then perhaps we can have respect. I mean, that's where we're supposed to meet each other mutually, right? Openly on equal terms. All men are created equal kind of bullshit. I don't know, man.
Well, it's one of those things that's not even bullshit, even the way it's written. There's some things that in this reality that are just fucking self-evident.
No, don't. I didn't mean to be this. I know what you mean. Say it that way.
I know. It's
not bullshit. It's just that people don't take it at the way it was written, like you said. Yeah, that's why it's bullshit, because people don't actually apply it.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not angry though. That's the thing. I'm really, if anything, I could say I'm more impassioned, more emboldened. I'm more like nothing phases me anymore. Like literally, I just don't react. I'm like Mike Tyson on shrooms or something. Like I don't know what it is. Like I can go 0 to Jersey in 0.2 seconds when I need to, because like you said, the anger is important, but it's without provocation of violence or anything like that. It's just
that's my secret. I'm always angry.
Right. I'm hearing a weird noise. Oh, that might be what's going on. We're in commercial for us being off the air here in a second. So I guess we should shut up.
I guess we should, yeah.
Alex Michael, thank you so much. Guys, go over there to Conspiracy Music Guru. If somehow you fucking haven't by now, what are you doing? Get over there. Do that now. What do you got going on besides what you told us now? You got somewhere to go do anything that people can click and link? Don't you have a channel going, damn it? And I can't remember what you called it this time.
Who, me?
You.
Oh no, I'll share that another time. I just came in to say.
Okay, we'll share that another time. We're not going to talk about that. What am I talking? Who's this? Prank caller. All right, guys, love y'all so much. Thank you, Jonathan, truly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Travis, thank you for that little pop in. Beep, beep.
Yeah, I'll make sure you guys get connected. I think that'd be a really good
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
There's quite a bit of traveling involved, so that would work out well. You guys need a driver, he's on it. You guys need a cook, he's on it. You guys need an extra hand with the camera, he's on it. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out with us this morning. We will be back on Friday morning for more of the Ironworks right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. Until then, you guys be good, be well. Remember that we do love you. Bye-bye.